Hello and welcome. My name is Pragya Devan and you're watching Voice News Network. Here are the top headlines of the day. Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard agrees to be extradited to the US. North Korea says it test-fired a new anti-aircraft missile. Broadway makes a comeback in New York. And after a year's delay due to the pandemic, Expo 2020 opens with a grand ceremony in Dubai. Now let's start with the biggest news of the day. Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard has signed a consent form which allows him to be extradited to the United States to face charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. According to Nygard's lawyer, Brian Greenspan, the extradition consent has been signed based on one specific charge of sex trafficking. However, this is not the end of the extradition process as the federal judge still has to sign off on the process. Nygard was arrested in December under the Extradition Act and faces 9 counts in the Southern District of New York. The authorities have accused Nygard of using his influence in the fashion industry to lure women and girls with the promise of modeling and other financial opportunities. Coming over to North Korea now, the country says it has test-fired a new aircraft missile on Thursday, which makes it North Korea's 4th weapons test under a month. The latest test comes days after North Korea launched a new hypersonic missile, which is believed to have nuclear capabilities. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the tests create greater prospects for instability and insecurity. This comes shortly after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said that he wants to restore a vital communication hotline between North and South Korea. Everyone's favorite Broadway shows finally returned to the theaters in New York. The Broadway shows were called off since March 12, 2020 due to the pandemic. But as New York City is slowly opening its businesses, the Broadway shows returned to the theaters with some notable changes. The audience members will now have to show vaccination proofs and will be required to wear masks. There will no longer be intermissions or autograph opportunities at stage doors, and many show times are being condensed to run about 90 minutes. And after a year's delay due to the pandemic, Expo 2020 opens with a spectacular ceremony in Dubai. The extravagant opening ceremony was headlined by British pop star Ellie Goulding and Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli. The expo retained its original name and will continue till March 31, 2022. It is the first time the expo for the Middle East and North African region, and it is one of the world's largest events to take place during the pandemic following the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, staged without spectators. The show will feature pavilions from 192 countries and will have 900 cast members from 64 countries and a crew of 1,000 people. And it's time now for news closer to home. Here are the top stories from Canada. Cyber criminals offer to sell fake Canadian COVID-19 vaccine certificates online. Experts warn that the lure of fake certificates could also expose the unwary to ID theft or ransomware. According to CBC, some cyber criminals are offering phony proof of vaccination documents for several provinces that apparently look just like the real thing. Some of them even claim to be able to enter the data from the fake certificates into official government databases. Supreme Court's rule out a judgment in favor of Ford government. The Supreme Court ruled that the Ford government had the right to cut the numbers of Toronto wards during the 2018 elections. In the past, Ford government cut wards from planned expansion of 47 down to 25 in middle of 2018 Toronto mayoral elections. The City of Toronto argued that by cutting the number of wards in Toronto after the nomination period for elections to City Council had passed, the province violated the Constitution because it limited the rights of candidates and trampled on the unwritten constitutional principle of democracy. And now it's time to know what's happening in the world of entertainment. Starting with Bollywood now, Kartik Aaryan and Kriti Sanon starrer Shehzada will begin the shoot this month. Kriti and Karthik will reunite for this film after giving a super hit Luka Chupi in the past. The film is directed by Rohit Dhawan and will start rolling this October. The film is set to be a remake of Allu Arjun-starred Telugu movie Ala Vaikunta Puralamu. Coming over to Hollywood now, the legal battle between Scarlett Johansson and Disney finally comes to an end. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the lawsuit filed by the actress against the studio was poised to have dramatic implications for all Hollywood's major studios. Disney Studios chairman Alan Berkman has expressed his happiness with the settlement and has also expressed his desire to work with Johansson in the future. And that is it in today's bulletin. Subscribe to VNN's YouTube channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.